Welcome back to MeatballCraft episode 4. Today we're going to start getting into Abyssalcraft, which you've already seen. I have made the Necronomicon and I have started gaining PE. The method in which I am gaining PE is through the sacrificial altar. I've played through Abyssalcraft a couple of times and my main issue is getting PE. The normal way to do it is by using statues and charging on a pedestal, but I can never get that to work properly, and also the statues cause problems like lightning strikes and other block breaking. So the sacrificial altar is probably the safest way. It highlights mobs in my mob farm as they die and I get P from that. So currently we have 349. It doesn't have an amazing range. We can upgrade the sacrificial altar to higher tiers, so hopefully the range will improve and we can get P a bit faster, as that is the energy for everything in this mod. As I'm a little wary of rituals causing base damage, I'm going to do some of the Abyssalcraft rituals over here. That is the ritual altar, and the first thing we're going to make is the overworld sacrificial altar, which is made like this with dark stone cobblestone. All we need to do is place the items on the pedestals and right click. It takes 400 P to do this, which we luckily have, and there we go, the overworld sacrificial altar. I know we just started Abyssalcraft, but I need to take a detour already, and that's because this jetpack is very annoying. Watch what happens when I walk off the path. I start flying immediately. Every time I fall off any sort of block or step, I start flying, and I've got step up. So I'm constantly starting flying. It is very irritating, so I'd much rather have a method of creative flight. And one way in which you can do this is through the angel ring, which is a little tricky to craft, but we already have violet matter, we have night metal, we can get everything else. So this will take a little bit of dimension hopping and a little bit of crafting, but we should get there just fine. First we have a boss to fight. Okay, here he is. He was very easy. Next we need the charger ring, which requires 2 soul vials with king chargers in them, 6 charger large plates which are made through liquid charger, which is made through melting the charger shanks into liquid charger, which is lovely really, and the ring of the flying squid, which requires a squid in a golden lasso and some dye, as well as a chicken ring which requires a chicken. So we need a couple of golden lassos and a couple of soul vials, as well as to find some king chargers. I got a primordial pearl from doing that, and it wasn't even difficult. A gem in here as well. Is there anything else? Or was it just that? Oh, just that. Well, that was an interesting little detour while I look for the stupid charger that's taking way too long. Okay, so apparently to get to the Betweenlands, we right-click a sapling with the talisman. Okay, not here. Okay, let's try it here. Oh, we're in a cool tree. Oh, well, that looks very cool, so let's go to the Betweenlands. Okay, we've made it. All my food has rotted. I don't think I want to eat that. What we're looking for is a spirit tree. I've marked that as the portal. It's apparently quite laggy here, so hopefully it won't take us too long to find it. I look up spirit. It's not giving me much indication by maybe leaves or whatever, but I assume they may be whitish, so let's get searching. I got infected by bugs and apparently I have to burn myself or something to get them off. I'm not quite sure. They won't go away, they're just hurting me and I'm hungry, so yeah, I don't really know what to do about that. I was just trying to find some I was trying to find this because I don't want to load a lot of chunks in this place if I didn't have to. So I can create a spatial diviner that will just bring the spirit tree to me instead, which seems easier. By using the slimy bones and the simorite, we can make the spatial diviner for spiritus. I took the whole structure down and I got some bark amulets, which is equipable, but I don't know what it does. So I don't even know where it's equipped itself, to be honest, so hopefully it doesn't do a bad thing. And I got 3 spirit fruit, which is exactly what we needed. And also I'm going to eat one. Okay, it's fine. So we've got enough left for the angel ring. I'm just going to clear out this bottom bit just to try and retain the look of the land. Mind you, the grass is quite nice, and maybe I'll just leave this. For the last piece of the puzzle, we need to go to Arcana, which involves making the Arcana portal frame. This is made with 3 blocks of mana steel, which is fine because we're already into Britannia, but we also need the blue firestone. And the only way to get the blue firestone is through killing the King of Scorchers, who is a boss. I don't know if I can capture him and respawn him, but we might as well give it a go. He gives 6 blue firestones, and the way to summon him is by using this, the Infernal Flame, which takes a Infernal Sword, which is just some redstone ore and some blaze powder, so I'll get him summoned. I also appear to have brought back some bugs from the Betweenlands. I've never played with the mods, so I don't know how to get rid of them or if they're going to do some damage, but I hope they go soon. Okay, let's check him over here and spawn him and see how it goes. Can I capture you? No. Okay, let's just kill him then. Okay, and he's dead, and he has dropped the blue firestones which we need. And now we can make the Arcana portal frame. Just going to put it over here for now. Hopefully I can move these, otherwise... Oh yes, you can pick them up nice and easily. Yeah, I will make a portal room eventually, but right now I just want to get on with it. These stupid bugs still haven't gone, so I'll move these. Okay. Oh! Okay, the portal worked. It didn't seem to, but it's worked. Okay, let's see if we can find the... What is it that we need? The extractor in the Dungeon of Arcana and get some raw arcanium. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, well, the extractor was literally in the first room I came to. I don't know how to find the ore though, so... Oh dear, that didn't sound good. Well, I'll see if I can find the ore and come back to that. Okay, some of these enemies are actually insane. This Death Hound has got like almost 2,000 health. I don't know if it's the normal mod or what, but I think we'll have to start upgrading weapons soon if different dimension mobs are going to be this tough. I got killed by one of those stupid dungeon constructors despite being completely fine the whole time. So that's just great. Hopefully we can get back fairly easily. I think this key is enchanted, so I'm going to go to the dimension and hopefully we can just get the grave back. That's so annoying. I spent so long in this stupid dungeon trying to get things. Okay, we got it back. Die, you horrible little thing. Okay, good, it died this time. And it upgraded my shuriken. So thanks. I finally found the raw arcanium. I didn't realise these were doors. I've been looking for proper doors the whole time. I've wasted so much time, but I had to get the keys first, and that was what took me the longest. So if I put this in the arcanium extractor, fingers crossed, we have the arcanium. Finally, I've been doing this for like an hour. Every so often, all the cursed earth in my mob farm gets on fire, and I have no idea why. And it keeps happening, but there's no reason it should be setting on fire at all, ever. So every so often I have to come in and hopefully I haven't burned it all out. I can get more fairly easily. It's just, oh, this is the worst it's burnt so far. There's only 2 bits left, so I don't know what's happening. There's no light getting in, so it just keeps happening. It's so annoying. And with that, we can finally make the angel ring. And angel rings can have different wings. So if I look up angel ring, you can have... Okay, it doesn't actually tell me, but it's like butterfly rings, normal angel, demon rings. So I think I want to go for these ones. These ones seem fun. So then we can put them on. I'm not sure what slot they go into. And if we go into F5, we now have cool wings. However, can't fly quite yet, and that's because angel rings are from a mod called Extra Utilities, which uses GP power to power things, and the best way to get GP power is the dragon egg mill, which, even though looking at it seems a bit hard, it's not, and we just need to make a few different blocks and we will have the power we need to fly creatively. On dragon egg mill, I'm just going to chuck this in the attic, so if we put the dragon egg mill down and then the dragon egg on top of the mill, we are now generating 515 GP, which means when we go outside, we can now fly. Oh, and it's pretty fast as well. Yeah, now we have got infinite creative flight, so we'll keep the jetpack on us. You can't fly in every dimension, just as a way of gating. So, for example, I don't think it works in the Twilight Forest, but the jetpack does. But for just going around the base, going around the overworld, and I think the Nether as well, this is perfect. I've just been looking through some of the recipes as I noticed all the mana pools were full, and Terrasteel armor is in the good tier for chapter 2. However, Pleiades combat made armor is in the great tier, and to make this you use Terrasteel armor. And we have got plenty of Gaia spirits. This Das Rheingold is made for greater Gaia spirits, which we've got, and mana weave cloth, which is just mana string and a Terrasteel. So I think we could potentially upgrade our armor. Also, it literally constantly rains in this pack. I am always trying to turn the rain off with this amulet. If I didn't have this, I'd be crying. So yeah, I think it'll be a good idea to upgrade our armor now that we've been into stage 2 for a little while. This is how quick we can make Terra Steel now. Basically instant, so having a big mana backup is definitely useful. I now have the Pleiades armor. It's very cute compared to the normal armor, yeah, but it also gives me increased maximum health, a superpower when I've not got anything equipped, and greater regeneration, so it's worth it. And also mana affinity, which I'm not sure what it does, so I'm just going to enchant this to make it a bit stronger and to put night vision back on the helmet, and hopefully we'll be a lot stronger now. With that all enchanted now, I'm going to put my old armor on a armor stand for fun. It's not the prettiest armor in the world, but it's alright. So hopefully this armor's better. It does say it's the best armor for the stage, one of the best armors for the stage, so I have to go with that. And it is kind of cute, so let's get back onto Abyssalcraft. The next thing we're going to make is the Staff of Rending, which we will need when we visit other dimensions. And to make that we need a Shard of Oblivion, which is just made like so. And then we just make these into Shadow Gem shards, and we can make a Staff of Rending. Now we want to enchant the Staff of Rending with multi-rend. This damages mobs in the Abyssal land and gives you their flesh so you can upgrade the Necronomicon. This does take a really long time, especially with the first one. So by putting multi-rend on, you can rend/damage more mobs at the same time. So it's quicker to get the flesh that you need, which is almost essential. And we have so many multi-rend books in here. We have 12, so we might as well use them. To be able to get to the first dimension in Abyssalcraft, we need to make the gateway key, and it requires a Necronomicon ritual, which requires 5000 PE and a sacrifice. The actual ingredients, so the Shards of Oblivion, is very easy, so we can just do that very easily. And it's a good thing I've been messing about for so long, because this Necronomicon is finally filled up to 5000. Okay, I've got the ritual set up, I've got our sacrifice, which is this pig, and we can go. Sorry, pig. Oh, they do make creepy noises. Okay, and there we go. We have our Oblivion Catalyst. 2 Corallian Pearls and 2 Blaze Rods. We now have the Gateway Key. By taking the key and right-clicking on the floor, we make the portal to the Abyssal Wasteland. This is one of the dimensions where you can't fly, so I will have to go back and get my jetpack, but this is the Abyssal Wasteland. It is very green. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, now we're back with the jetpack on. If I rend this guy, okay, it's giving me temporary warp. I think there's a way in here to get rid of the warp. If we rend this guy, it starts filling up with essence. We've got 16 Abyssal Land essence, so once you get enough, we will get a Abyssal Land essence in my inventory, I think. Okay, it takes quite a while. It's 1 per his health, so we find some other guys to use it on. I think it just works on these zombies. Okay, there we go, we got one. We need 3 of these, so I'll keep doing that until we got that. This is why multi-rend helps. If we take the Corallian Plagued Flesh, combine it with Abyssal Wasteland Essence, we can make the skin of the Abyssal Land, and then if we combine that with the Necronomicon, we can upgrade it to the Abyssal Wasteland Necronomicon. One of our tasks to do in the Wasteland is to do the Ritual of the Sleeper, which is done like this. This costs 1000 PE and should summon Azara, who I believe is a dragon. I've put a few mega torches down around here just because we need to do rituals, and it's annoying to have all the mobs spawn constantly. It is a very, very dangerous place. Let's see if this will make a ritual or not. It does. Okay, so this is what we'll be using to summon Azargoth, but at the moment we have no PE, so we better take this home, recharge it, and get the ingredients. I'm hoping to do a few rituals while we're there. One of them is to get the Abyssal Wasteland Sacrificial Altar, which is quite a simple recipe, and the next is to get the Abyssal Wasteland Staff of Rending, which is also pretty simple. It requires about 2800 PE on top of the summoning of the dragon ritual, so we're just waiting for that to fill up. Hopefully we can use a transmutation gem that's got a lower durability than full. I don't recall it using a full gem, it just using 1 durability, but I'm not sure. While the book is charging, I want to go and find the power gem. So this is the power stone. I have got a quest reward, which means this will scan for it. It's got fairly big range, but we can also use these like ender pearls to show us in which direction this way it might be. So I'm going to head off in this direction and see if we can find it fairly simply. Okay, I found the dungeon, so this scanner should help me find the crystal. Ah, it's over here. So we'll just dig over to it, because it's like a stronghold. You can never find the end portal when you want it. And there it is. We've got so much temporary warp from being here without doing any Thaumcraft. It's so annoying, so... Okay, I need a different sort of pickaxe to be able to mine this, so that's annoying. I'm not sure what pickaxe does it, so I'll come back when I find out. I found some emerald chickens, but they are literally the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, so I don't think we'll ever be using them. They are horrible. I found a villager that sells me bottled frostfire, which will help us get the pickaxe to mine the power stone. Thank you very much, villager. He's a witchery villager. I'm going to mark him on the map because it took me a long time to find him, but he's been very useful. I also got some of the other essences I think I might need in the future. I'm sure these will come in handy. Thank you, little man. To make cold iron, we need to put the frostfire on the ground and chuck in pulverized iron, and it should cook cold iron for us. Perfect. I'll just let that go. While that's going on, we can make the dark matter pickaxe, which is the plan for a good pickaxe. So I'll put that in there in case it's a quest. Don't think it is. So then we can from that make the red matter pickaxe, which hopefully has got a good enough mining level to be able to mine the power stone. So apparently the red matter pickaxe wouldn't work, so I have made a refined corallium pickaxe which should be able to pick up the power stone. Okay, good. Now we have it. While faffing about, we now have enough PE to do the rituals. The sacrifice altar. The staff of rending, and finally, the dragon. Okay, well, it's easier to hit than the ender dragon. And he's dead. Oh, I'm very hungry now. Okay, that's what we need. I've made a little setup to get sextuple compressed cobblestone by using a Mark II energy condenser with a red matter block in, going into a RF Tools crafter, and this is because I want to go to the Deep Dark. The Deep Dark has lots of different things in, a couple of different structures which aren't normally in it, as well as it's a good place to put my quarry, which is what I want to do next, since we are quite low on any resource that doesn't have EMC, so I think that's a good next step. I should be able to super enchant my armor, and these two things seem to be drops from bosses, which would be fine, but we just need to make the Gaia altar, which is, it looks hard, but I don't really think it's as hard as it looks. I'm not sure what the recipe for the actual controller is, the Gaia. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure how this works, if you just make a normal controller or what, but oh yes, you just make the machine controller. I think I need the controller manual. Okay, so there is potential to get into this soonish, and I think that'd be good. It also unlocks some other Britannia stuff, so I think that's a good thing to remember for the future. However, there is one problem we need to solve before quarries and before modular machines, and that is storage, because currently I've just been plopping down more storage crates whenever I fill one up before, and there's probably tons of items in here that are also in tons of other chests, so I think it's time to get into applied energistics properly. And however much I want to get into AE2, actually we seem to have a bit of a problem with warp. So I think maybe we need to get a little bit further into Thaumcraft to get the sanity checker, just so I can deal with all this fog and the mobs. I want to know how much I have. Being in the Abyssal Wasteland gives you warp, and I don't want to go in there finding warp removal statues if it's just going to give me more warp than it takes away. To be able to tell how much warp I have, I need a sanity checker, which I should be able to craft at the moment, but I also need mirrored glass, which I do not have the research for. I need basic artifice, so hopefully we can get this research and then make the sanity checker and see how much warp I have. I've just learnt this, but one I think is a decent way to do alchemy. So if I throw this scorn brick in here, we have some essences, and if I throw it in the quartz slither a few times, okay, I think that's all of it, if I throw them in, I get crystals based on the essentia that was in the bricks. So that's a fun way to get crystals and then have the exact number of ingredients that you want to put into the crucible when you're making things. So that should hopefully reduce the flux in the chunk. I should probably be doing this somewhere else, so I might move the crucible just for safety. I don't like taint. I think in 1.12 it's not as bad as it was in 1.7. But yeah, that's a fun little thing I learned very recently, so I'll do that. I need to make some thaumium to unlock the correct researches. I also want to get some goggles of revealing so we know what's going on, and eventually when we have the warp under control, I'll make the really scary V-shroom and we can just unlock all the research immediately. With a little bit of research, we now have the goggles of revealing. This is going to deplete the V in the chunk by 50. I think we'll probably have to move the Thaumcraft base at some point, but I really just want to deal with the warp before we actually really get into Thaumcraft properly. But yes, the goggles are revealing. This is a bauble slot, so I can put that there, and then if we, for example, chuck one of these into the crucible again, you can actually see the aspects this time, so now we know what we're taking out. So yeah, they're really a good quality of life thing, kind of essential for Thaumcraft. You can also see aura nodes. I don't think there's any, well, I wouldn't know, but if there were any around here, you'd be able to see them. So yeah, that's an essential Thaumcraft item that we've just made. Now on to destroying the warp. To make thaumium, we need 5 precantio, 5 herber, and then if we just chuck an iron ingot in, okay, obviously that's not quite how you do it. So I'll just fix that. Okay, the reason it didn't work is because I put herber in instead of terra. So if we put 2 dirt in, which is 10 terra, 10 precantio crystals, and then 2 iron, we should get the thaumium. I also need an alchemy theory, so if we take our research table over to near the crucible, we should be able to try and aim the theory at alchemy over other things. For example, see, gain 15 alchemy and a bonus draw, so I'll keep doing this. Getting close to the sanity meter. This theory needed a vitreous crystal, so we got it in the same way using the quartz slithers, and we could run the research. So other research will require things. For example, this one requires Caelus, and this one requires a file of Visium or Visum Essentia. So yeah, it's interesting the way you do the theories in this one. So sadly they've given me Caelus, which is a very annoying one, just to see, apart from the kind of Caelus actual V, chaotic draconium block, awakened draconium, misrillium, Iro blocks, vox blocks, haven blocks, dark misrillium, the dragon heart. So honestly, I'm gonna have to do a different research. This is very annoying. Why did it give us the hardest aspect to find? Oh look, and more warp effects. Lots of horrible little spiders coming to get me. All I did was go to the Abyssal Wasteland. This is not fair. I don't deserve this. I didn't do any bad research. I've simply been existing in other mods, and yet I'm being punished for it. There's also another issue now with Draco. This is meant to be the list of everything that has Draco on, however half the things don't actually have it. For example, the Dragon Bone, which we could access, doesn't have it as an aspect. The only aspects that it's really on is these blocks here, which is very, very irritating. So I don't know, that might be a bug. This mod pack is in beta, so it's on Dragon's Breath. Okay, so we can do that, but it's kind of annoying having this sort of list of items and half of them not even having the correct aspects on them. Next on the researching agenda, we happen to need a celestial note for lunar full. However, it's night and that's not full. So we need it to be the next night, I think will be the full moon. So if we sleep through this night, I have made a imperfect ritual stone from blood magic, which is very easy to make. If I put a lapis block on top of it and right click, it uses blood in the blood network to turn it to night again. And now we have a full moon, we can scan and we can get the lunar full celestial research notes. It doesn't trick for the other quadrants of the sky. You can scan them every day to get more notes, but it doesn't work if you change the stone, but it does for the moon because the moon's different. So that's one way of sort of tricking the game into giving you a new moon when you need one and you don't have it. It's also good for astral sorcery, so it was good to make that and very cheap. And I finally got my theory in alchemy. By using a piece of quicksilver and a glass pane, we are able to make the mirrored glass, which has EMC. With a couple zombie brains, the mirror, and some alchemical brass nuggets, we can make the sanity checker, which will show us how insane we are. Oh, we are completely insane. The warp is completely full, and I don't know why, because all I did was go to the Abyssal Wasteland, so that's not good. In fact, it is very, very bad, so we need to reduce the warp or we'll constantly get fog and other problems, and it is honestly happening every couple of minutes, so we do need to sort that out. If I'm correct, I think what the really scary V-Shroom does is it fills your warp. Now our warp's already full. There would be very little point of me completely emptying my warp just to fill it up again. So maybe we should make the really scary V-Shroom now, then we can clear the warp out after we've used it. And the way to make the really scary V-Shroom is through Infusion crafting. We also need Dreadium and some anti-chicken and stuff, but we'll sort that out soon. I'm working on the Dreadium Wasteland portal. We're just waiting for the P to fill up, and also that's where better totems are, so I'll be scouring that before we make the V-Shroom, so that'll be fine. But to get to Infusion crafting, we need the runic matrix, and to get that, it's fairly simple really. You just need some night ore, but we also need the research for Infusion, so I need to work on that and set up a little area for some Infusion crafting. I've made an Essentia smeltery, which is the first part of getting to Infusion, as you need the Essentias to be able to do the Infusion crafting. So I have actually taken this a bit further away from the base because I know it does produce flux at this point. We don't have ways to mitigate that, so I've just taken it to a little mountain over here. I'm going to put this down, and I've made 3 arcane alembics, which are going to go on top. so. And so we burn things in here with coal and it will produce the essentia from it. And to be able to progress, we need to get the essentia tubes. This will just make things easier. I want to make this as fluxless as possible. I'm just going to go through this little bit of the Thaumcraft before we get onto the infusion part. And to make the essentia tubes, we need to get a file of Vitium, Vinculum, Alienis, and Alchemia to be able to progress. So I'm going to cook that up. So this is how it works. I take some nether wart, which has Vitium, it's the middle purple one, and I cook it up like this with some coal. It's making some flux, and then if I take the little glass files, okay, I obviously need more, but eventually I can take the little files and collect it. Okay, I think it's 10, so if I take the top one, okay, we should be able to collect it, and we get, oh, that's Alchemia, so that's one we needed as well. We need it a bit more for this. I think it's cooking up, I'm not sure. This is kind of new to me. I haven't messed with Thaumcraft in 1.12, so yeah, you can see the flux leaving and polluting the chunk, which is bad. We should have, oh, we've got one bottle of Vitium, so I'm just going to keep doing this. If you look in the top left, we can see that there is a bit of flux now in this chunk. It's a little tiny bit of purple above the V, which is the pinkier stuff. We need to be careful doing this, and one way is to upgrade the Essentia Smeltery to Thaumian tier, so I'll do that as well. I'm very close to infusion, but a crimson portal has appeared in the base. Okay, it was only a lesser one, so it's pretty easy, but that's a flux thing as well. We're very, very close. I should now be able to make the runic altar. Perfect. So this is what we can use for infusion crafting. Just need to put a few arcane pedestals around the perimeter. I'm not sure how far away they need to be. Actually never done arcane crafting, so this has been a bit of an experience. So yeah, so if you do something like this, that should work fine. I might move them one closer. And then all we need to do is go to the Abyssal Wasteland and find some Dreadium, and we should be able to make the scary Vishroom fairly soon. Underneath the altar, I'm going to put a lot of zombie heads, and this is because it should help stabilize the infusion. You can also use things like candles and candelabras from Bewitchment. I will put one here, and it should hopefully be as even as possible to stabilize it. Everything needs to be even in infusion crafting, otherwise instability happens and that can break items that you're using to craft with, and if they're expensive then you'll have to recraft them, which is very annoying. So hopefully I've got enough zombie skulls. I can layer this as well, but I think this should be fine for now. Okay, now we have a whole layer of zombie heads. I'm gonna have to break them to get out, but hopefully this stabilizes the altar. It should detect up to 7 blocks below it, so I can just hide these under the altar and it should be fine. Let's get really scary Vishroom. We need to get Dreadium, which means going into the Dreadlands. I'm not sure how much P we have in here at the moment. Oh, we've got enough to summon the key. However, this episode is getting a bit long, so I think it is time to wrap up the episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.